What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9, the end of the Palpatine saga, as we like to call it, it was such a cluster. There was so much going on. There was clearly so much that they tried to fit into this movie, yet at the same time, so many things they clearly cut out of it. And one of the things that people are arguing about right now that we thought was confirmed until the actor came out and said, no, it's not, is the fate of Nien Nunb. So I want to go over that, see why people started talking about it, and then see the actor's response, and we can kind of evaluate and figure out who actually knows what's going on. This is from Cinema Blend. Another Star Wars fan favorite character is confirmed to have died in The Rise of Skywalker. Oh no. Did he or didn't he? This has been the debate, somewhat heated, though not terribly. Yeah, not really. Not heated, at least, surrounding the supposed death of beloved and significant Rebel Alliance pilot Nien Nunb after his ship exploded in the final battle of J.J. Abrams' Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. However, we have confirmation that Nien Nunb did die during the final assault against Palpatine and his Sith forces. R.I.P. Now, it's showing this tweet from Brian Young. I wanted to go to the start of this whole thing right here. This is what Brian Young tweeted out. Godspeed, Rebel. And then a picture of Nien right there. And then Ray Carson comes back and says, R.I.P. Nien. So Ray Carson, the reason she's so important is because she is an author who works at Lucasfilm. She is the writer of the novelization of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So you'd think that she would have a pretty good idea. I mean, you should think that if she's involved with the story group, if she's involved with the telling and everything like that, I'm sure the book should be done by now because it's supposed to be released in a couple months. Brian Young thanks her, oh, thanks for chiming in, blah, blah, blah. And then Ray Carson says, yeah, I think it's pretty clear from the movie upon careful watching, so I feel comfortable confirming. Props to you for noticing. So that makes it sound like she does know that Nien Nunb dies and she is writing it in her book, but she felt okay saying that because she thinks that the movie gives you enough of a hint, enough of a clue to be able to confirm that. So that's what Ray Carson is saying. This goes over that. Carson's an American fantasy writer who broke the scene with this novel. Okay. She wrote a couple Star Wars books. And then here you go. Later this year, her Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker Expanded Edition will publish, filling in gaps to an official novelization of the story we've seen on screen. So that's what they call it. They say Expanded Edition. It basically is the novelization of the movie with extra stuff. So yeah, she's no, this is terribly written. So yeah, she's no for sure whether Nien Nunb survived the final battle, and it sounds like he didn't. Now the outrage. This is Star Wars after all. Some fans have to be angry about something. Thanks, Cinema Blend. And in this case, it's the fact that Nien Nunb theoretically died off screen and didn't get a proper farewell. It's being compared to the death of Admiral Akbar without giving him a real reason, plot-wise, why he had to die. Someone even used the hashtag Nien Nunb deserved better. And that's in this reply right here. No, that's not true. That's impossible. If his death happened off screen, there's still a chance he survived. And in a way, that's not so far-fetched. Since first appearing in Star Wars Return of the Jedi as co-pilot for the Millennium Falcon alongside Lando, Nien Nunb has shown up in all three new trilogy films. That's true, he was there at the battle for Starkiller Base as a starfighter pilot. He battled in the Battle of Crate and survived. He's not exactly a Han or Luke, but he's not an insignificant side character either. Those who gripe about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker point to plot issues like this, which theoretically were sacrificed to the god of pacing. No matter what you think about the movie overall, Rise of Skywalker moves like a freight train. That's true. That is running out of tracks. And about halfway through the movie, it runs out and it just crashes. And rarely stops long enough to explain stuff. If that means a fan favorite like Nien Nunb gets retired in a quick moment during a pivotal battle, so be it. Well, this author doesn't seem to care very much about the fate. However, just because the person who's writing the novelization says he died, Nien Nunb's, the person who plays Nien Nunb refuses to believe this. Also, that's just the expanded edition. Star Wars. Nien Nunb actor claims there's not a single piece of evidence his character has died. And this got published last night. While the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker did not make it explicitly clear, fans were shocked to learn that Nien Nunb died, blah, 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 blah. So one scene of a ship being struck by Emperor Palpatine's lightning powers made fans think that Nien Nunb died in a big battle in Exegol. But it looks like the death has been greatly exaggerated, even by Lucasfilm employees. And then this is Mike Quinn, who's responding to Ray Carson, that author's comments. That's who he's responding to. There's not a single piece of evidence to suggest otherwise in the final movie, wrote Quinn. He's piloting Leia's ship from the first Star Wars movie that carries the Death Star plans, the Tantive 4. It gets zapped with Palpatine's electricity, as does Poe's X-Wing and everyone else's craft. Then later, Poe states, "We're back online. There's no explosion of the Tantive 4 anywhere," which is the standard storytelling convention in these movies. We even see a ship looking like the Tantive 4 coming into land above the trees at the end. Quinn went on to explain that there's a version of the film where Nien Nunb did indeed sacrifice himself in a big heroic gesture to stop the forces of the dark side, but that's not what made it into the final cut. Are you Wait, hold on. Mike Quinn, are you saying there's multiple cuts? Are you saying there's multiple cuts of this movie? I don't think that's what he's saying, but yeah, it does. You know, the way he phrased it made me think of that. Halfway through filming, they shot the end celebration. At that point, Nien was supposed to have sacrificed himself for the cause. That's why he's not seen there. I had a chat with JJ about this a while before we filmed the Tantive 4 scenes. He explained they needed some sacrifices, and even his friend Greg Gunberg was going to bite it. But he swore me to secrecy. I was happy with that I was going out a hero seemed a fitting end. In the penultimate edit, there was a shot of the Tantive 4 going down or whatever, apparently. However, it was removed from the final edit. Again, all these edits of J.J. Abrams' Rise of Skywalker. Interesting. Quinn ended his lengthy explanation with a request for people to deal with facts, not confused minds who think they saw something. So Mike Quinn is very upset that people are trying to claim that Nien is dead. Squabbling among the Lucasfilm family is nothing new. But it's just interesting that people involved in the movies are going against the people who are helping to flesh out the extended universe, which I'm fine with him saying extended universe because this is the Disney Star Wars extended universe. But it is interesting that he so publicly kind of went out there. I haven't seen anything from Ray Carson in response yet. I haven't seen anything from the Lucasfilm story group confirming whether he died, whether he's alive. Nothing. So it's interesting. And it just speaks to me in general. Again, with what's going on at Lucasfilm, there does just seem to be a lack of communication all throughout. Even if his character is dead, the question then is, why is it not clear on screen? Because that is a character that they have used in Force Awakens, in Last Jedi, to be like, hey, I know him. Hey, I know that person. Nostalgia, right? Nien Nunb. He was in Return of the Jedi. That's what they're using him for. So then to kill him off screen or not show his death or whatever, that's, I don't want to say disrespectful, but it kind of is, especially when you're showing and making a big deal about Snap Wexley, this character that no one gives a shit about, Greg Gunberg, your buddy, J.J. Abrams. That's the person who we're supposed to care about that crashes. But if Nien Nunb really did die in this, you didn't show that, you didn't care. Because again, it's a legacy character. We like to bring them in to sell the money, but we don't actually care, or to sell the tickets, but we don't actually care about them. So that's what's going on. We don't know. I would tend to side with the person who's actually writing the novel, because it sounds to me like she's already probably written it in that he's dead. However, it sucks if you're Mike Quinn and you think your character's alive and Lucasfilm is telling you different. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Nien Nunb is alive? Do you think he's dead? Do you not care because it's Disney Star Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.